7 o'clock. We're going to start and call the meeting to order. So we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. Dylan, you want to start us off?
Sure.
Thank you. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, so we'll start with Chairman update. Good evening. I hope everybody is staying warm because it's cold out there. As an update to the board and the community, I wanted to share that the BOE chairs from Putnam, Pomfret, Woodstock, and Thompson met on Sunday. We discussed how best to engage our legislators regarding economic cost sharing and special education costs. Superintendent Steve Rio, I hope I pronounced that correctly, of Putnam has drafted a letter for our regional superintendents and Board of Ed chairs to sign. Superintendent Smith and I will do so once it's finalized. In addition, each town is going to be preparing a letter to be signed by its full Board of Education, Board of Selectmen, and Board of Finance to address individual community concerns. As I've stated before, advocacy must come from all levels. In that same spirit, we'll provide pre-printed letters at the town budget hearing. Nicola Krzyzanowski of the Board of Finance and I will also host additional signing opportunities for residents who are interested in making their voices heard. We also discussed opportunities to share services among districts. Superintendent Smith's taken the lead on gathering information from each district's pupil services director to identify in-house services across districts with the goal of exploring cost-sharing opportunities and reducing expenses where possible. I also want to directly address the concerns raised about a recent survey. To be clear, the district did send notice of the survey to all families and students who would receive it through our standard communication channels. The message was delivered and the information was made available. Superintendent Smith has also stated that going forward, additional reminders will be sent out. We do understand that everybody is busy and emails can sometimes be overlooked. However, when we share important information, we rely on families to review it. Participation is a shared responsibility, and we value our partnership with families and expect our communication efforts and community engagement to work hand in hand to support our students in schools. We thank you for your continued involvement and support. And then we'll move on to citizens' comments. And we'll start in the Zoom. None. All right. And we'll start in the room. Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
Seth Dejelay, 210 Pompey Road. I have some questions about that survey. Whenever there's a survey that goes out for anything in the school, we are inundated with emails, text messages, voicemails for days before a survey. This gets hidden in the newsletter. So a few of the things that you decided were okay to ask my 11-year-old daughter. How many times in the past 12 months have you carried a knife or gun for protection? How many times have you tried to kill yourself? 11 years old. How many times have you used heroin or meth? When you have sex, do you use a condom, an IUD, other type of birth control? All of you thought this was appropriate. Shame on all of you who thought that this was appropriate.
Thank you.
So my name is Eva Pashitska-Krupa, and I have only one question for you, Ms. Superintendent Smith. My child is autistic, and he is ADHD. So I am wondering, what do you know about kids who are on, have ADHD? Nothing. You're leading the whole district of Thompson.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, but it's not about.
Do you want me to come closer?
You can talk in the
so
microphone.
you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so my son is 13 years old child who is autistic, and he is ADHD. My question for you is, what do you know about kids who have ADHD and who are autistics?
I know a lot about students who have ADHD.
Do you know that kids who are who have ADHD, excuse me, I'm Polish, English is my second language, and I'm very nervous. So my son is 30% behind mentally, you know, so you decide that my son, who is 13 but actually 9 years old, was age appropriate to take that test, that survey. I know you respond to my email saying that, you know, the survey and the form was in the email and I had the right to output him or whatever, say that, you know, I don't want him to take that survey. But you put that email in regular updates. I am working 16 hours a week, okay, to make sure that my kids get all the services. I had to hire advocate because the school never listened to me, okay? So for him to get IEP, I have to hire advocate and make sure that my kids get all the services that they deserve. So I don't have time to read regular emails. My son brought a form, like permission to come in for a ball, like a dance ball, but he didn't bring permission to take the survey. So that's my question. Who approved that survey? And I would like the answers, because my son is only 9 years old mentally. So I just want to know who approved that survey.
So I'm going to state it's citizens' comments, not citizens back and forth. I do need you to state your address, though, for the comment section.
It's 1402 Thompson Road in Thompson.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments?
But you just still didn't answer my question.
She's not going to.
Because it's citizens' comments, not question and answer.
Okay, but you need to answer my question.
Matt Desjardins, 10 Valley View Drive. I've got 2 kids in the school system. So I've got an elementary student who's 10, and I've got a middle school student who's 12. So I am a very busy working dad, right? I pay close attention to my kids' schooling, their social well-being, their health in general. This crap does not belong in our school. I'm going to tell you straight up. You want to do this for the high school with this survey? You know, fine. It's probably more appropriate for high school. Kids in high school have a lot of issues. Some of the questions in here I don't think are even appropriate for high school. I'm going to tell you, my 11-year-old, my 12-year-old came home that night and asked me about heroin, sex, all kinds of illicit drugs, drinking, bringing weapons to school, suicide, all things that were absolutely foreign to him before your stupid survey. I'm going to tell you point blank, this is sexual harassment for a 12-year-old. If it happens again, I will absolutely be going to the state police with this. Do not do this again. This was irrational beyond anything I've ever seen. So the letter said it was to develop a suicide prevention program for the district. And it examines young people's perceptions of their strengths, supports, and skills that are essential for success in school and life. What's the highest level of schooling your father or stepfather or male foster parent or guardian completed? I don't really think that goes to that effort or to that point. Have you ever had sexual intercourse, gone all the way, made love? When you have sex, how often do you and your partner use a birth control method, such as birth control, pills, Depo-Provera shot, an implant, ring, patch, male or female condom, foam, diaphragm, or IUD? What are you asking a 12-year-old this for? My 9-year-old will be 10 in the middle school. This better not come across his desk. You said it's anonymous, but they did it on their computers. That IP address can be traced back to the kids, I guarantee it. It's not anonymous. This SECRA, whatever the SERAC, has ties to DCF. If a kid puts a comment on there that he thinks is funny or she thinks is funny, I'm willing to bet somehow a referral goes to DCF. This is just garbage. I would love to know what funding we actually get from this SERAC organization. I called them today, and they can't tell me. What they can tell me is that it's not direct funding. It helps in training and things like that for the faculty and staff. Great. I'm all for you guys getting training, the staff getting training. I don't think asking young kids that are well below age about sex and drugs and all this other stuff is really necessary to obtain grant funding for CPR training and things like that. I urge you to take another look at this. Do not do this again, please. Thank you.
Any other citizens' comments?
Can I make a citizen comment?
No. You have board member comments. Student liaison report.
What?
It's okay. Okay. On a happier note, some events we have coming up are FBLA week this week, which is a fundraiser the FBLA program is running, where students can pay $1 to participate in different events. Today we did a challenge. We put an Oreo on your forehead and you got to get it in your mouth. Paid like $10 and I just ended up eating all the Oreos and failing. But it's $10, so that's cool. We also have progress reports coming out soon. There's student council meetings. The TSLT in-service is coming up. The NEASC visit, the annual cereal challenge, again, is starting up, which is really exciting. We have a new goal, higher than ever, that we're hoping to achieve. The Pops concert, our final music concert, is coming up in, I believe it's March, so that's something exciting to look forward to. The school-wide SAT, also in March, it's about a month away now, so a little scary. Midnight Madness, a very fun event where, if you don't know, students all get together and we have a fun time. We play a bunch of games, there's a bunch of snacks and everything, and we stay at the school from around 6 to midnight. Costs $10-20. It's a great fundraiser, super fun. More council meetings. Willy Wonka the play, come out. Very fun play, I can tell you personally. NHS inductions for those who have got offers. They received them last week, I believe. Local Government Day is coming up. Q3 ends in the end of March. More student council meetings, more reports. Recently, we hosted a 7th grade shadow day where students from the Thompson Middle School, 7th graders specifically, got to come up to the high school and experience a day with high schoolers. So I personally had 2 kids with me. They got to follow me throughout my second period day in our Tiger Blocks, where they got to see all the cool things we have to offer as a school. And personally, my kids said they had a lot more interest in our school after seeing how much they could do here. So I think that was a major success, and I'm looking forward to doing that again next year. Some other news and highlights. We had our mock elections for our local government day on the 30th, where students gave speeches on why they believe they would be a good fit for positions in our local government. It was a very fun event. I didn't win, but I tried. The TSLT retreat, we're all going to get together in a nice little cabin in the woods and sleep in. It sounds scary though, but we're going to talk a lot of business there. It's basically like a big long meeting and a big sleepover with a lot of fun snacks and fun activities. So I personally loved it last year, and I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy it this year. The NEASC visit is coming in March. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Doesn't say much, but they're visiting. So that's really good. We're gonna share student work and perspectives and basically elaborate on what we here are doing at TMHS. Sports talk, rough season for the boys. Boys basketball team 1-13, I believe. You know, we're trying, we're rebuilding. We have a big team. We're starting 3 freshmen this year. So we're hoping in a couple years we'll build and be good. The girls basketball team, similar struggles. They faced a lot of injuries, losing a lot of good players, unfortunately. But we're all still fighting through. On a better note, though, boys and girls indoor track has been doing pretty good. There were 6 of our athletes selected to go to ECCs, which if you do not know, is kind of, in a way, a semi-final meet where only a select few get in. And one student, Caleb Laporte, got selected to go to states, which is like the final where all the best kids from the state get together and compete. And I'm rooting for him. I think he can win. He does the 55, if anyone's wondering. Student voice forms. So student voice forms are forms that all students can submit where our faculty, along with members of TSLT and most other groups such as the Board of Ed, the Board of Finance, Governance Council, and a lot of other groups in the school, we all get together and we review these forms by the average common student, and we bring their concerns to you, the Board of Ed, to see if any of their concerns can be addressed. I don't believe we have any to address today, but if anyone has any, if anyone's listening, I'd be happy to introduce them to the board. Just got to submit them. But that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. Any questions for the student liaisons? All right, finance director report.
Always nervous to move that thing. Revised budget hasn't changed at $21.8 million. Year-to-date spending, this is all, as you guys know, as of the end of January. $12.3 million, or 56.3% of the budget, a little bit behind where we were in the prior year. Year-to-date encumbrances, $9.5 million, slightly ahead of where we were last year. Right now, projected spending of $21.7 million, or 99.8% of the budget. Please remember, we're a little over halfway through the year, so that's very draft at the moment. You'll notice some of the numbers moved around. From last month, one of the biggest changes was we revised our estimated 2026 special ed excess cost amount down from $140,000 to $62,000. That was a redone calculation by Dr. Jones based on the specific students that special ed excess cost applies to. So that's really a function of, as you guys well know, the increased threshold, reimbursement threshold this year, coupled with the increased reimbursement. Of course, if you raise the threshold high enough, they're not going to be reimbursing you on anything. So that's really what you're seeing rippling through the numbers. As we discussed last month, we did apply the IDEA funds and the seed grant to come up with these numbers too. 2 departments projected to be over budget. Pupil services at $467,000. That's up almost $200,000 from when we talked last month, and it's really a function of the change I just mentioned on the special ed excess cost, as well as adding in the expected costs. You'll remember there were students we had to consider for next year's budget. We had to increase the budget for those students. Well, those students are here this year. So there's also a current year impact. So when we look at the expected expenditures for those students for the current year, plus the decrease in special ed excess costs, that's really the primary drivers of the increase in the projected deficit in pupil services. So you see that it's at $624,000 for out-of-district placements and $79,000 related to RBT spending. The good story in special ed continues to be transportation. That's running a bit lower than budgeted, and that's helping to offset some of these items. And then, of course, ESY at the end there, which won't change. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Facilities update, Mr. Birch. I wonder if the mic's too far. Can he hear you?
No, he's trying to, yeah, there he is.
All right, hello, everybody. So I don't really have too much different to tell you tonight. It's still pretty much the same things for us most of the time. We still work on the HVAC project every day, working the kinks out of it. It is getting better bit by bit. We spent a little bit of time the past week or so moving snow around. It seems no matter where we move it, it's in the wrong place, but we just keep doing that. And really, other than that, that has taken up all of our time since we last met.
Is there an update on the roof leak that occurred this weekend?
So that roof leak that has occurred this weekend is it's just a phenomenon of the way the building was built in 1986. When you have extremely deep snow on the gym roof, combined with high winds, snow blows up into the smoke vent, and there it melts and drips on the floor until we go up and shovel the roof vent off. And I would say in the past 20 years, it's probably happened 4 or 5 times.
Okay. But everything's taken care of at this point?
It is.
Thank
We
you.
made snow angels while we were up there.
As long as we're not struggling too close to the edges.
Guys,
Justin,
I've got 2.
okay.
One is on the generator. I know it's crappy time of year, but do we have any update on that?
So there's really nothing new on the generator at this point. The generator seems to be fine. It runs every Wednesday. It's been performing well. We haven't noticed any significant coolant loss, and we are still looking at having some deeper evaluation done April vacation.
Okay. And my second question is, are we looking at and don't anybody get mad at me in the room, are we looking at dealing with snow load on the roofs with the impending storms coming up?
So at this point, the snow load that we have on the roof at this point is probably about 50% of what it was in 2014 when we had to close school because of the heavy snow load. The storms coming up, it looks like maybe another inch or so tomorrow night, and then a little bit at the end of the week. I don't particularly see it as being a threat at this time. When we had issues in the past with snow load, we were getting hammered with heavy storms day after day.
Okay. Just want to keep it in our front view window, because March isn't even here yet. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Birch? Thank you, Ms. Birch. We're going to move on to approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting in January 5th, the regular meeting, January 12th, the special meeting, January 21st, and the joint meeting of January 28th.
I'll second. Danielle seconds. Any discussion?
One comment.
Justin?
Was the joint meeting January 28, 2026, was that forwarded to the BOF recording secretary as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we just note that on there somewhere then, please?
Heather?
And can I get a copy of the latest and greatest spreadsheet, the financial spreadsheet from that meeting that had the FTEs and all that? You had the updated version?
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
She needs the 2-2 draft.
Oh,
Yes.
the position. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the minutes? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. All right. Subcommittee update, finance.
Finance subcommittee met, and there are old business items that are gonna come up. Are we doing it? Do you just want an update on what we did during the meeting? Okay.
Yes, please.
The finance subcommittee advised to send the 2020 FY25 budget overage from special education of somewhere around $67,000 to the Board of Finance, as is. Finance Subcommittee also advised the use of the unrestricted non-lapsing for the serving line and the steamer at $70,284 for the serving line, and I added in the $2,000 for electrical for that, and then $32,893 for the steamer. The recommendation is going to be to allot that entire amount, and if we do get discounted equipment, that will revise that at that point. But the superintendent has authorization. The Finance Subcommittee is recommending that the superintendent have up to that amount to spend on that equipment as is. We also advised the table the lockers pending the DRIP allocation in June, July timeframe, right? Yes. It was June, right, or July. So that is the update from the Finance Subcommittee.
Thank you, Justin. Kristen?
Sorry, Justin, did you say that the serving line and the steamer from the non-lapsing?
From the
Unrestricted.
non-restricted
BOE one? Okay.
non-lapsing, correct. Unrestricted non-lapsing, sorry. The BOE control.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you.
Which, full transparency on that one, it will leave us right around 7,000, strike that, 5,000 in the negative on that, but the DRIP funding should clear the rest of that, which we're guaranteed. It's just diligent. And we want to get this equipment on order so that it's installed over the summer. So.
Any questions on the finance subcommittee? Any other questions? Nope. All right. Superintendent report.
So I believe that you have our excitement here in the district. Alyssa Lynch was awarded the VFW Teacher of the Year for the entire state of Connecticut. I believe she's online. There she is, waving. And I believe the chairman has something special for you, Alyssa.
Your very own certificate.
Thank you. Well, listen, I appreciate that because they spelt my name wrong on the one from the state, so.
Did I check it?
Did you check that?
It's spelled right here.
Thank you so much.
I don't know how else to say thank you. You do a phenomenal job in your classroom, and it's nice to see that recognition come to a teacher who puts in an awful lot of work. So thank you for what you do for us.
Thank you. I am a proud PMHS alum, Thompson Public Schools K through 12. Coming back to teach in the school district that did so much for me means more than I think that I could ever say. I love being able to have an opportunity to have any kind of impact on the community that has raised me into the woman that I am. And I am very, very blessed with the amazing administration and the Board of Ed who support us, our VFW in town. And I'm very, very, very grateful for this award. This was a complete shock. In fact, when they called me on New Year's Eve, I thought it was spam and I hung up on them. And they did leave me the voicemail, thank God. So I called my dad first and I was like, do you think this is real? And he's like, call them back right now. But I am just so very grateful and I am very honored to be even recognized, even just in the town of Thompson would have been enough, but the state of Connecticut was like above and beyond. So I just want to say thank you to Melinda. Thank you to Kim and Becky. I am just very, very grateful.
Thank you. Enrollment update.
So our enrollment went down by one student this month. At Marriott Fisher, we have 326 students. That was down 2 students from the previous month. Our middle school has been holding steady over the past few months at 280 students. And we have an additional student at Turtle Lot Memorial High School, so that total is at 169 for a grand total of 776 students in our district. That doesn't include all of the other students that the district does pay tuition and additional supports for transportation, which is located on your sheet. But those total up to about, where's that total number?
870.
Yeah, 70 students. So take that 776 and add those 70 students that the town of Thompson is financially responsible for in one way or the other, transportation, tuition, or both.
Thank you. Any questions on the enrollment report? Okay. Alright, move along to Career Pathways Coordinator update.
So I am pleased to introduce to the board Michelle Walworth. Michelle is the Career Pathway Coordinator that was hired this year with Alliance grant funding. If you recall, we had a guidance counselor in that role last year, and we chose to go for someone that had some experience with workforce development. I know that Michelle put together a meaty presentation, but she is going to tell you about her activities since she started here. She has hit the ground running, and I couldn't be more pleased with the work that's coming out of that office.
Thank you. Very glad to be here. So, really quickly about me, I live in Griswold, and for the last few years I was working with another company, and this was one of my schools that I was contracted to visit. So I've been familiar with Tortolot for the last 2 years and understanding your student needs and being able to get to know Melinda better and Kim and Mike Joyce and work tight with these folks. And so yes, hitting the ground running to get going. Let's see if this works here. It did. All right, so when I first got here, Superintendent Smith said to me, your mission is to make sure that every student leaves here with a career plan. And we've been digging deep. As Melinda says, we're building the plane as we fly it and trying to come up with all kinds of initiatives, plans, motivations, and activities to engage our students. All right, so when I first got here, I started thinking really quickly about what do we need to do to engage our students. They need to learn about the careers. We want them to engage with work-based learning opportunities. I'm doing workshops and meetings with students. I'm getting to know them better. And I'm continuing doing employability skills, which is something I had done with the previous company that I was with, to help get our students career ready. All right, zipping through. When I first got here, I met with Kim Steiglitz, our guidance counselor, and she and I sat down, looked at every single senior, and picked out which students we thought might need a little bit more motivation or help, career awareness, career planning. And those are, for my seniors, I have 24 out of our 45 or so students that I call being on my caseload. And we already identified our juniors. I have 20 out of the 37. These are typically students who haven't really committed yet to going to a college, or we know college isn't for them. They may be a better candidate for a trade school, hands-on position, or just really aren't sure where they want to go. As I continue to engage with our students, I track every single student in a spreadsheet as to when I've met with them. This allows me at a glance to say, oh, I haven't met with so-and-so in a while, maybe I should go find this person in a Tiger Block and engage with them. So I keep really copious notes so I know where I'm at all times. These notes and these case notes that I have are shared with the guidance counselor and also any case managers. They use this information for IEPs and PPTs just to always know where our students' needs are and how they're being met. All right, so during the fall, I had to build a lot of resources and came in and created activities and worksheets, Tiger Block engagements. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I built a new website, career development website, which we have tied on to our Tortolot Memorial High School website. Has a ton of resources there. And I've been meeting with the seniors, and I started doing this in more group settings, so it was a little bit more comfortable for them, starting to ask them what they wanted to do a little bit later, what their needs were. And as I've gotten to meet them and understand them, it's simple things and simple engagements. And when I see them in the hall, how you're doing? Did you get your resume? You applied for that job. Did you hear back? Do you need more help? And being able to work in such a small school, really, it's great actually, because they get this one-on-one attention that if I had maybe 500 kids, I wouldn't know all the students by name. So I do love being here at Tortolot for that particular aspect. I've been visiting the manufacturing shops and construction shops, working with our hands-on learners to understand what their needs are. I work very closely with Mike. We share a lot of information. I'll be going on a PD development on Wednesday to talk about more manufacturing jobs, how to encourage kids to get to the skilled trades, one-on-one meetings. I won't go through all of this because it's all there. We don't have time, but I do encourage you to take a peek off of our Total Memorial High School page. If you go down to departments, you'll see career development, and under that page, you'll see a lot of links. I came up with some career planning resources, a lot of information about the career clusters because kids just don't know what they don't know. So giving them opportunities to explore the types of jobs out there, the skills required, the training they can get, and then tying that into how Tortolot can offer these resources for students to be successful. That's where this very preliminary first project I worked on when I came here was I needed a big resource for all my students to be able to engage with, and I use it in the classroom with students. It has assessments, quizzes, skills, so again, I'll let you do that over the next semester. So moving on to spring, the fall was all about building the resources and making connections with the teachers, the staff, and of course our students and understanding their needs. Now we're hitting the ground running. I just did resumes with students, gave them all the resources for that. We're going to be talking about interviewing skills, how to apply, where to look for jobs. Working with Cindy Roulette is amazing, which you know, she does the senior capstone classes, and she's invited me into those capstone classes to give employability lessons. And those can be anything, again, from the resumes and some real practical skills to more of the soft skills, which could be professional conduct, time management, organizational skills. A big one is adaptability and resilience in the workforce. That's a main factor that all the employers tell us. All of our new employees need to have adaptability. Job searching, work-based learning. This next page is going to talk a little bit more about the, well, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk about some of these initiatives. Getting in again and building an entire kind of program and a lot of resources. I have bulletin boards going on, engaging Google Classrooms with students. I'm always trying to find ways to put myself in front of the students and be accessible. My door stays open, except when it's chilly, sometimes I close it. But the door is open, students pop in and out all the time. I came up with an idea to do a Dress for Success closet. I admit that was based on Griswold. I worked in Griswold Public Schools for a while. And the Dress for Success closet is just to offer students nice dress shirts and maybe some casual business clothes so mom and dad don't have to go out and buy a $35 shirt that the kid's gonna wear once or twice. I have some suit jackets, and we received a lot of donations from the community, which I'm very thankful for. And my shelves are stocked right now, so I'm really in good shape with that. So thank you to the community, everybody who's listening out there. Bringing in guest speakers to talk to our students about career awareness and the different pathways we have is something that I've really been engaging with this semester for our students. We just had EB in yesterday. I have Spiral coming in a few weeks. We're going to be doing career readiness and also talking about the career pathways. Just taking a peek and seeing what else. There's a lot of information on there. I'm tying career development into the employability skills, like I said, to the senior capstone. So that's been a real gift to be able to go right into the classroom and maybe give like a 30-minute lesson with the students, activities, exploration. Here's our work-based learning opportunities. As you can see by this, I'm not going to read them all, but just about every month we have had some sort of engagement with work-based learning opportunities, whether it's job shadows, guest speakers, going to a career fair. These have all been done in partnership with Mike Joyce, Kim Steglitz, Cindy Roulette. So we work together very tightly to bring awareness in all shapes and forms of pathways and career choices to our students. And as you can see, there's a lot of diversity in there as to what we're offering. And that's something I'm going to continue to build. Like I said, bringing in more guest speakers to really engage with those pathways and the students. All right. One of the big things I took over this year was the job shadows. And job shadows is a graduation requirement that the students need to complete. They talk about this during their capstone showcase. And it kind of went a little bit by the wayside, only because I didn't have anybody to really monitor it. But now that I'm here, I revamped the whole program, updated the documents, made it a little bit more succinct, and I'm also a resource for students to help them engage with a more meaningful job shadow instead of, well, I need a job shadow, so I'll just go down and work, out in a garden. The point of a job shadow is to get them experience in a career choice, let them see what it's about, ask questions, network, and meet a professional. So really working hard on the job shadows to make more meaningful connections with the community. I was on WINY radio also looking for partnerships, and trying to get, I'm working with the alumni right now too, to get a little bit more partnerships in for that, mostly in the skilled trades. It's really hard to observe in the skilled trades for obvious reasons, liabilities and such, but if we can get guest speakers in and folks just to offer really great Q&A sessions, it would count as a job shadow of sorts, because it's allowing the kids to have awareness of certain trades. All right, moving along. So I just came up with this in the last few weeks, thinking ahead to what I have accomplished over the fall, what I'm going into for the spring, and what I want it to look for next year. This little circle is what I came up with. We want to recruit our middle school students into Thompson in Tortolot Middle School, Tortolot Memorial High School. And the way to do that is to give the students awareness of the pathways here, but also awareness of career choices. Once they know and they're interested in certain career choices, we can say, guess what? We have a pathway for that, and we have supports to help you right here in Thompson so you can be successful. We want to engage with the students for more career, like I said, the guest speakers, worksite tours, career fairs. The development is the students being able to work up through a pathway. They can start in welding 1, they like it, they move up to welding 2, welding 3, retaining them into the district, and eventually the outcome is that every student leaves Thompson with a plan in place. All right, so this is getting lengthy, so I'm just going to skip through. I'm going to invite you to take a look at this. But for freshmen, the #1 mission for me is awareness. Awareness of the pathways, awareness of careers, looking for some activities and engagement for them. I don't do as much with the freshmen right now for obvious reasons. They're acclimating. I didn't really meet with them at all during the fall. But next year I'll be doing just a little bit more touching, to just kind of get them familiar with what we got going on and the opportunities. Sophomores, we're doing more awareness and engagement. Those students are going to be invited to career fairs, might have some guest speakers. They have the maturity maybe to start really thinking about more where their path's going. I don't expect to ask a 14-year-old necessarily, what are you going to be when you grow up? Kind of want them to acclimate to the school and take advantage of everything we have to offer. And then as sophomores, we can really start engaging them with some career choices and pathways. Now it's when it gets real, right, Dylan? So Dylan had joined me on a healthcare tour. We went over to QECC. It was a career fair and a lot of vendors, if you will, there, a lot of businesses, and we got to meet with them. We had some exploration things that we got to do. It was kind of fun. So starting to engage with our juniors to bring them out to some real world work-based learning activities. And again, it's that awareness, engagement, and development of them in their pathways here at Tortolot, and pushing for that outcome. Their outcomes, as they have a plan, they know where they're going. Last but not least is the development and the outcome of the seniors. So my seniors are high priority on my list, and right now I'm just engaging with them in any way I can. I have, like I said, career readiness. We have worksite tours. We have career fairs coming up, career presentation, readiness skills. I'm going to be doing individual meetings with students. I do have certain students that I know really aren't sure yet, and those students are still going to leave with a plan. So that's where we're at. Then going over to the middle school, just started the outreach and awareness and recruitment with the middle school this week, or I should say last week, and it's been wonderful. So much positive energy there. Really excited about that, and we are brainstorming all kinds of ideas and opportunities to get the students to understand what Tortola is doing, to understand what I do, and how we can help them explore ideas and creative pathways for them, and hopefully keep them in the district, because we have a lot to offer. Coming up soon, a lot of great ideas. We're talking about exploration days, maybe a pathway expo, some work-based learning opportunities. If I have a guest speaker and we know that our tech ed kids are really hands-on, which they are, I'm going to invite them up to talk to a guest speaker so they can hear a little bit more about that. I apologize for skipping through, but I know it's late. And then last but not least, here are a couple of photos of some of my wonderful people. This is something I came up with this year, which was a career pathways spotlight, to kind of share the good news that our pathways are going with and our wonderful students who are engaging. And these kids are great. You ask them these questions, they have wonderful answers, and they've taken advantage of a lot of the opportunities we have here. The top 2 students on the right went to the boat program with me at EB. Actually, it was at New England Tech. That was 5 hours coming and going for 2 nights, and those 2 kids did that for 2 nights with me. Bottom picture is alumni from 2 years ago. Jordan Butler and Patricia came back and talked to our CNAs. So that peer-to-peer engagement was huge, and looking to do more sorts of engagement with that. Now that you have a career development coordinator, I've got an office. So that's my little piece of the world. Very proud of my little office. I've made bulletin boards. I do graphic design, so I made that graphic on the left and printed it as a poster. And last but not least, for more information, here's my QR codes. So that was the Reader's Digest kind of sort of version, so thank you. Does anybody have any questions before
Heather, you had your hand up first.
I don't have a question, but I wanted to tell you that I really like the student spotlight things. I think we should keep doing those, because I think putting a face to the program is also helpful, and it makes it more personal.
Makes it real?
Yes, and I also love your ideas about the middle school and finding ways to kind of engage them more and kind of give the students, and maybe most importantly the parents, you know, more knowledge as to what we have to offer.
So one of the things we were talking about too was possibly me visiting during the coffee hours, or putting sort of that spotlight maybe into the newsletters for middle school, more bridging the gap about pathways and opportunities for our students, career awareness.
Nice work.
Matt?
2 questions, or, yeah, questions, I guess you'd say. Do you teach things like interviewing skills, like eye contact and not mumbling?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I interview a lot of college students for internships and stuff, and man.
I know. Yeah, I'm aware. I worked with a bunch of other schools too prior to this, and that was always the conversation: how to dress, how to look. No, you don't need to wear a suit if you're going to apply, you know, at EB, but you still want to look nice and just have professional level skills, first impressions, the whole thing.
And I think it's just what percentage, and I don't know, who knows, what percentage of kids right now, juniors and seniors anyway, you think are on a college track versus a career track? I think career track is huge right now, and I think it's important. I've always thought it's important. My kid went to Ellis.
My son graduated from North Tech.
And you know, it's important, and we need more of it. And so what do you think?
About half. Okay. So about half, which I said I had about 20 or so kids on my caseload. Those were kids that we identified that weren't going to go into college, so they need career awareness and advancement. So we're looking at about half right now.
Okay.
So that's why I have a job.
Yeah, no.
And thank you.
Thank you. No, it's very needed.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Move on to old business. All right. We're skipping B, right? So we're looking for an approval of expenditures as described by Justin from the unrestricted non-lapsing account.
I'll
second it.
Do you need an official motion?
An official motion would be good.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the expenditures for, hold them down, the serving line and the steamer, and possibly we'll look at the lockers in June and July, from the non-lapsing account.
Can you move that from the unrestricted?
From the
non-lab?
unrestricted, non-lapsing account.
I will second that.
And Matt seconds it. Any discussion?
Yeah, can we stick a dollar amount on that?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm doing the math right now, just to
Thank
make
you.
sure I have it right.
mhm.
I don't know what the lockers were. 70,000 for the serving, 32,000 for the steamer as of now. What were the lockers?
Yeah, so it's a total of, it's a total of 103, 174 less the locker. So the serving line and the steamer come
It's just
to
the 103, 174?
103, 174 with the electric. Yeah.
No, but the lock, no.
We're
the
not
steam-
we're
the
not
ser-
worrying about the lockers right now, though.
No, I know. The serving line was 68
70,000.
that we have to quote
Plus-
for,
plus
plus the 2
2,000.
gives it 70.
Yep.
Plus $32,000 for the steamer
Right. Yeah,
That would be the
gives it 103, 174.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's
All
fine.
right, so Kathleen adjusted her motion to include the dollars. Matt, you still second?
Yep.
You good?
Yep, I'm
You
fine.
sure? Okay.
I'm happy.
All right. Any other discussion? All right, since we're voting on money, we'll go around the table. Justin?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Kristen?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Daniela?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, so that's unanimous. All right. And then we were not making any further motions in regarding to number B. Does anybody have any new business?
Yes.
Justin?
I would like the Board of Ed to put to the policy committee a policy on student surveys specifically focusing on PURPA, or Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment, please. And I'd like the policy committee to take that as a priority as soon as possible. There is a CABE outline for it that I already looked up, so it should be pretty cut and dry from CABE with a little bit of review from the policy committee. And instead of, it appears from my quick review of the CABE policy, it appears that it is an opt-in in Connecticut versus an opt-out. So that's the way CABE has it for student surveys moving forward.
That
We have a meeting coming up.
on
End of the month?
March 2nd.
March
Yep.
2nd. Yep, thank you.
Do we need a motion to move that to policy?
Make that motion.
No?
Kath?
All right, I will make a motion that we send to the policy committee as a priority that student surveys, our policy on student surveys, be revised or reviewed, to reflect the opt-in versus opt-out, to comply with or to reflect the Connecticut state regulation.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Justin seconds. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Oh,
Abstain.
he's gonna abstain.
I'm still very concerned about the comments from the citizens and what was in the survey, how it flowed through. I never heard about it. I heard something about the surveys, parents hadn't contacted us back, but it's like that never came up in any discussion here. So I don't know how that is handled and then how it got put forth to be sent out. I feel bad hearing about 12-year-old and 13-year-old 11s getting those kinds of questions.
Right, but see, if they have the opt-in ability, if they don't see it, if, because they're busy or whatever, then their child won't get the survey.
So that was missing in the current
We don't,
scenario?
as my quick review, we don't.
We don't currently have a policy.
Sorry, yeah. We don't currently have a policy on student surveys.
Mm-hmm.
The CABE framework that I quickly looked up was, it's the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And it specifically focuses on opt-in for surveys like we were like just happened. So it allows, if, basically it says, if you don't see it and you didn't sign it, your student doesn't have to take it.
Can
So-
I ask the superintendent kind of how this was
So
done?
right now,
how
we're
it was
just
approached?
voting to go
We
to
didn't
policy.
design that survey.
Oh, okay,
That was designed by an outside firm,
all right.
okay? That was supposed to concentrate on helping students with, you explain it.
Part of our partnership with CIRAC is that data collection, right? We are in a suicide prevention program with them. We're in year 2. We've received a lot of training for faculty, staff, and students around suicide prevention. If you all recall, we had the QPR training here. Justin is right. There isn't a policy related to surveys because we are in partnership with CIRAC. That was a survey, an attitudes and behavior survey that's nationally normed that we sent out. I looked at that survey. There are questions on that survey that are certainly questionable. That's why we sent out a letter. That's why we posted it on the website. In talking to parents, they understood all of that. They are more concerned that we didn't send out another reminder about the opt-out. Opt-in makes more sense, then therefore that takes that away.
I think that's where we'll discuss in our policy.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any correspondence? I haven't received any. Okay. Second session of citizens' comments. We'll start in the room this time. We'll go backwards. Any citizens' comments in the room? Same as last time. Name, address, please.
Yep. Matt Desjardins, 10 Bellevue. I will say the career development thing, my middle school student has enjoyed this, so that's working really well. He came home probably about a week ago talking about he's going to be learning how to solder and things like that, so that's great. I'd like to see that. A few things on the survey. Thank you. I think that's a great first step to have that done and opt in rather than opting out and trying to, not that you tried to hide it in weekly updates, but as a busy parent, I'm going to gloss over that. Typically I read your updates. I happen to be starting 2 companies last week or the prior week and I didn't see it. So, that being said, I think you're missing the point. I might have misunderstood your comments. I wasn't upset about a specific notification being sent out. I was specific that you were asking my 12-year-old about sexual things and drugs and suicide in a survey. The opt-in, great first step. Really think you should consider the content of those surveys, to your point. Very inappropriate the way this one was done.
Appropriate.
That's it, thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments in the room? Okay. Citizens' comments on Zoom?
Looks like there's.
Cindy's raising her hand.
Cindy? if you
Hi.
can state your name and address, please.
Cynthia Bastis, 79 Hangstrom Road.
Thank you.
Okay, so I was a little upset about the survey, like a lot of these other people are talking about. I'm gonna kind of repeat what some of the parents said that, it was sent out, yes, it was, but it was sent out in the weekly updates and like something with such strong language and such major subjects, I feel should have been sent out so the parents can get a heads up and hey, like maybe letting the children know, hey, you're going to be taking a survey and there might be these questions that, may not be, you're aware of. I mean, you want to inform our children. Don't you want to have the right answers and they understand? Yes, I think some of those questions were not appropriate for some age. I'm a realist here. I know there's children doing things that they shouldn't be doing at this age and some know more than they should. but it's, some parents want to keep that, for when they're older. Now, my question is, I know we did this now because it was for a grant and we need money, as everyone knows, especially all of you on the board there, we need money. Now, with this survey, what was the grant money? How much was it for? And what would it do? I was able to take one of these courses and I found it very, very informational. And I thought to myself, boy, maybe these kids could understand this better. Then they could look out for signs and whatnot to help their friends, which I have to say personally, my son has had a few friends where the subject has come up and they are in middle school. So that's one thing. How much is this grant that we did in doing this survey? What is it going to do? And then also, how many parents did opt out that did see this?
So as I had told the previous citizen, it's citizens' comments, not back and forth, but if you email Superintendent Smith, she'll be able to provide you that information.
Yeah, because I was on this last time and I thought this was questions too. Sorry, I must have been misinformed. So, okay. Then okay, we're not going back and forth. I, as a parent and as a parent of 3 children and somebody in the community, if there are going to be further surveys, I would like, and I know many other parents would like, a direct email, not over here, a direct, like it has been done in the past. I just, and are there going to be surveys with these more serious questions too? I mean, all right, that's my piece. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments online? Go once. Go twice.
Is there something in the chat? What is the chat?
That's old.
Oh.
That's old. All right. No additional citizens' comments. Do you have a motion to, board member comments? My apologies. Danielle?
So for the parents who are upset, I'm a board member. I have multiple children that attend our schools. I too did miss this. I was not happy. I understand the survey, but I missed it, right? And I'm a board member sitting here representing our school. I also missed it. So none of you should feel hurt that you missed it, because I too as a board member missed it. I would have opted out, at least for one of my children. These are topics that I want to have the conversation with my kids on first. I do know that they have health, and I do know that there have been topics. They've had DARE, right? So they are aware of drugs, they are aware of alcohol, they are aware just from friends. But I just want you parents to know that I, as a board member, also missed this communication. You're not alone. I made the mistake too. And I hope that helps you guys feel a little bit better, that if you did miss it, I did too.
Any other board member comments? Justin?
So our job on the BOE is we're the executive board over the superintendent, and we are the policy-making body for the Thompson Public School District. The remedy for what happened, and we can't take back what happened, the remedy for what happened is to put policy in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. I think one of the things that we as a board, and what I am going to do a lot more moving forward, is try to be more proactive with policy. So when there is controversial potential topics coming up, try to head it off with a policy that may make it a softer landing. But I think that when issues come up in the district, it needs to be a reminder that we are a policy-making body and that we are the executive body over the superintendent, not necessarily down at the administrator or teacher or granular school level. So I think we're, by putting a policy in place on the student surveys, I think we're making a good first step.
Any other Board of Ed member comments? Rick?
Do we know of any other near-term surveys of this type this year or anything?
No.
Be a concern? Okay, thank you.
Kristen?
I just wanted to say that I appreciated the addition of the cafeteria updates to the packet, so I think that Deb is doing phenomenal, and I really liked seeing all those numbers. That was kind of new for that information, and also I want to thank Danielle for your minutes are amazing, and I sit on a lot of boards and a lot of committees, and I've read thousands of notes, and they're not always, as comprehensive, so I appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. Any other Board of Ed member comments? If no, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Quick. Done.